Tomorrow, Luigi Mangione, the man accused in the murder of United Healthcare CEO, is set to return to court. This pretrial session will focus on what evidence specifically can be admitted at trial. This week marks 1 year since Brian Thompson was gunned down while on his way to an investor meeting in New York City. Authorities pointing to a backpack found on Mangione, which they say connect him to the crime. Among the items inside, a red notebook with Mangione's writings that showed hostility towards the health insurance industry, including this quote, "The target is insurance because it checks every box." But attorneys for Mangione argue police violated his constitutional rights by searching his backpack and questioning him without a warrant. They're pushing to get that evidence barred from the trial. For more on what's expected in court, I'm now joined by criminal defense attorney Darryl Cohen. Thank you so much for taking some time this Sunday evening.
Good to be here. Happy 2 days or 3 days after that magic massacre of Turkey's Day.
Yes. I hope you had a great holiday. That is one way to put it. One of the hearings that we're talking about here is a map hearing that's going to determine if the physical evidence found at the scene of Mangione's arrest in Pennsylvania can actually be used in the trial. Mangione's defense team, they're trying to get everything found in that backpack thrown out. I've included some of that. That also includes a silencer and a 3D printed gun because the police didn't have a warrant after all. New York City criminal defense attorney Ron Kuby says that police officers can grab anything that is within grabbable distance. Mangione's defense says that's because it was 5 days after the shooting, that won't actually stand here. So what do you think? Did the defense have a case? Did the prosecution have a case? Where do you stand?
Well, I stand with Ron, who I've never met. When he was arrested, when Mangione was arrested in Pennsylvania, whatever he had on his person or next to or near his person is open season. Whatever the police sees is evidence, and they don't need a search warrant for that. Now, if they went to his house, his car, some place of business, that's a whole different situation. But here, at the time of the arrest, it's basically the scene of the arrest, though not the scene of the crime.
Right.
It's admissible. It's not going anywhere, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to think that this was a year ago, it was an all-out manhunt. We had law enforcement all across the Northeast, much less the entire country, looking for this one guy with bushy eyebrows. They find him in a McDonald's. And not only that, they find all of that incriminating evidence alongside him. So we'll have to see exactly how that plays out. Authorities say that Mangione not only had the murder weapon on him, but also the batch of journal entries seemingly confessing to the crime. We just showed quite a few of them on the screen there just moments ago. Without the contents in the bag, it seems that the main evidence is Mangione's fingerprints near the shooting. So what could happen if the contents can't be used in court, say?
If the contents are not able to be used, I still would not be concerned because there's visible evidence of him committing the murder. And you take all the video that they have, and my memory is it was significant. They've got him. And his lawyer's doing what his lawyer has to do. You have to defend your client, even if you don't like him, even if you think it's an untenable position. And here it's untenable, and what he did was untenable.
But look at that video right there. That's the video evidence you're talking about. I only see a guy with a backpack and no face, a hood up, right? That's not strong enough to say that that is Luigi Mangione.
Not by itself. But you take in the fact it was a backpack. Oh my gosh, it's the same backpack that they found when they arrested him. Oh my gosh, all of these various things put together, that's more than enough evidence to convict him, in my view. The jury may disagree. I don't think so.
So what kind of testimonies are we expecting to hear from court this week? Who would actually be coming up and sharing, their thoughts?
Well, I think depending on who is subpoenaed to testify, I suspect it's the police, the law enforcement person or persons who arrested him at the scene of his arrest. They will testify as to what they saw, what they heard, and what their visible evidence was at the time.
As we look at these photographs of Luigi Mangione walking through and the flashing lights, it reminds me of just how much publicity this case has generated and how much people are invested in what happens to Luigi Mangione. Quickly, very quickly, because we got to move on. What do you think about the overall publicity that this one defendant has generated?
I think it's necessary and horrible at the same time, but it's going to make the justice system look very carefully at itself and examine itself.
Yeah, they got to go really carefully. And also, there's a federal trial that's happening as well as a simultaneous state trial with what's happening in Pennsylvania as well with Luigi Mangione. That's criminal defense attorney Darryl Cohen. Thank you very much, Darryl.
Thanks. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.